Welcome to Adventures 305, your weekly ticket to the amazing educational journeys happening right here in Miami-Dade County. This is a special edition of Adventures 305 focusing on the arts. From impactful theaters to phenomenal teachers and amazing jazz bands, this episode has it all. So get ready to be inspired. This is Adventures 305. Hey girl, what's up?
Hey Alex, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Thank you so much for that video you sent me, by the way.
Oh, did it help?
It helped so much. I actually ended up changing the tire all by myself.
Alex, would you believe that I needed that same video the very next day?
No way.
It was just absolutely crazy, but that's why I love M-DCPS. They're always providing resources for students, teachers, even the community.
Right? There's just so much out there. And I was looking at other videos. I found one from students from New World School of the Arts that talked about key concepts about excelling in the professional world.
Really?
Yeah, it was great. They were talking about acting and theater and just life on the stage.
Sounds interesting.
I have it right here. You want to check it out?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Today we are going to be highlighting some key concepts that'll help you excel in the professional world. The first section we'll get into is some theater etiquette and how it translates into the real world.
Every actor knows that when they're getting ready to audition, they must have a resume and headshot prepared. A headshot is a high-quality picture of you, either from the chest or waist up. A good headshot consists of a solid-colored wall contrasting a solid-colored shirt, and there should be no distracting elements in the background. Let's see an example of how to take a good headshot. In the theater world, actors may have different headshot styles depending on the role they're going for. A darker background with a serious look works for more dramatic roles, while a lighter background works for less dramatic roles. In the professional world, things work very similarly, but you want to come off as open and reliable, so make sure you choose whatever headshot style works the best for you.
I recommend having a clear quality profile photo, such as the headshot we just took, along with a brief description of exactly what you do professionally and your location. Adding a link to your contact information also helps with professional inquiries, as well as posting every day to boost your engagement. You could also post a highlight reel of your latest work, workshops you've attended, and community service. When branding yourself online, it's important to feel like the best version of yourself is being put into the world.
In today's modern world, having a social media presence is just as important as having a professional resume. In theater and film, casting agents often look for performers online who showcase their work on professional Instagram accounts, TikToks, or websites. Sometimes they prioritize performers with large followings as it can boost their project's visibility. While your follower count might not matter for most professions, your digital footprint most certainly does. Everything you do online can be observed and traced directly back to you, so it's important to keep things professional and representative of your character. Branding yourself online can also help make connections and create job opportunities. Consider what message you want to convey about yourself, and then how you'll do it. That's practically theater. Now that we've learned about messaging, let's get into what theater is really about, the art. In order to tell a story, one must remain present and open, but how do we practice that? We will be demonstrating this with a second circle exercise. Patsy Rodenberg teaches us about second circle, remaining open and vulnerable. First circle is playing internally on stage, while third circle is externally or outwardly. The idea is that the actor remains in second circle even while the character jumps from first to second to third. Our seniors will demonstrate this with the crossing exercise. Without talking, they will exchange places in the circle while keeping their breath engaged. The idea of being present is the basis of theater, but also applicable in your day-to-day life. You must be present in order to properly interact, listen, and respond to the people around you.
Speaking of listening and responding, this is one of the building blocks of theater. We believe that we must be able to put our entire focus and energy into our scene partner in order to react truthfully. They must listen and then respond, not pre-plan what you're going to say ahead of time. We will see this in a Meisner repetition exercise. Our two demonstrators will start with a basic observation and then listen to each other's responses and see how it progresses. Let's go.
You're scared.
I'm scared.
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 You're scared.
So here, we were able to see that they had their complete focus on one another. They were not thinking of a pre-planned reaction. They simply listened to each other. This is directly applicable to a job interview or any other type of meeting in the professional world. If you are open and present with the person that you are speaking to and not thinking about what you're going to say before it actually happens, you can give an honest, genuine reaction. Speaking of being present, let's go on to the next exercise.
We will now be working on an exercise that you can do at home. This exercise is called sending. We in theater believe that one must see what they are saying. If the actor cannot visualize their scenario, then the audience cannot invest themselves in their performance. We start with 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. The arm is raised all the way to the back with your palms spread out. You'll make 3 individual noises, and with each noise, you will push your palm forward, exhaling as you make the noise. The first sound is a sustained S, which you'll notice does not use any of your voice. The second sound is a sustained Z, which does use your voice. And finally, a sustained ooh, which does also use your voice. Let's watch.
To be or not, to be or not to be or not to be.
This exercise can also help you when you're delivering speeches in the non-artistic professional world. It can calm nerves, help you see what you are saying, and connect with your audience.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you learned how theater can help professionals who are not in the arts. We hope to see you next time at Learning with M-DCPS.
It's cute. I don't like cute. This is tango. Vivian Ventura. I am from Puerto Rico, and I have been with the district 22 years. I have been teaching orchestra, piano, and chorus for the district. My most rewarding experience happened about midway through my career. It used to be getting kids to get trophies and awards, and after a while, those little pieces of plastic don't mean much. But when I saw my students performing at a nursing home, and one of the nursing residents that hadn't moved in 6 months, all of a sudden started moving, started shaking, started getting involved, and I saw the nursing staff crying. I realized that these kids can do a lot more than play beautiful things on their instrument. They can serve their community.
She doesn't really care about how good we are as an instrumentalist, but more about how good of a person we are, like our morals and how we respect others. A funny story I have was last year, we were rehearsing for a concert and her heels were hurting her feet. So she took them off and she was rehearsing on stage barefoot. And she later told us that her feet were bleeding. So I guess the moral of that is, even though her feet were bleeding, the show had to go on.
My personal philosophy is that quality music matters. Quality music is different. It teaches you to think. It teaches you to listen. It teaches you to work with each other. It teaches you to read, follow along. It teaches you discipline.
Miss Ventura really relates well to the kids. They are inspired by her. She's funny. She makes it engaging. And music education is the type of subject that, kids don't always start out super passionate about, but she brought that out in a lot of the kids that came in without any experience.
Miss Ventura is special in every way. She does so much here at Southwood Middle School. She's not only our orchestra director, but she also does a bunch of things outside of her normal classroom. And what she does here is just unparalleled.
A typical work day involves me getting up at 6 a.m., taking my son to high school, coming back, getting my other 2 children, going straight to work. And when I get to work, I have about 20 kids waiting for me in the front of the school because they want to either talk or bring up their instrument or hang out or have me listen to them. Then I have to remind them to go to class. They're going to be late. Go, because they want to just stay in my room all day. 5th period is my strongest period. I have 67 students, so I have to prepare very much for that class, and that class is a lot of fun. I have to be very structured in that class, but you'll see it. You don't fit in the room as well, but we make a lot of beautiful music in that class.
Her passion to teach our kids, when I walk into that room, I want to pull up and get a violin and start playing. That's how enthusiastic she is about it. And we are so lucky to have her here at Southwood Middle School to lead our orchestra program where it's never gone before.
My name is Vivian Ventura, and I choose M-DCPS, your best choice.
They are the talent, and today is about celebrating them.
Today we're having a major festival where we celebrate the arts and music. And through an amazing partnership that we have with Art Access, we are now serving jointly over 14,000 students.
Arts Access is a collaboration of 25 of Miami's leading arts nonprofit organizations with one mission and one goal: to provide free, high-quality music and arts education to every student in Miami-Dade County. So you can see school principals, families, parents, teachers, organizations, all coming together to observe everything that we've worked for a whole year.
Many of our kids, they picked up an instrument for the first time this year in August, and they're here performing today. We really get the chance to see the talents of our kids, get them to find other outlets outside of the academics that we push so hard in the schools. But it's great when we get the chance to see the kids in another light.
My first year was a lot of fun. It was my first time performing with Guitars Over Guns at Homestead. It's been really great, connecting to the mentors, meeting friends, meeting people from other programs. Music is so important. It really helps people connect with others, and I feel like that's something that's really important in this day and age. It's also a great way to express your emotions, and that's the whole message around Guitars Over Guns.
So it's always much more than academics. In order for students to really have a wonderful learning experience, their experience as a student, it must be grounded in additional activities and additional opportunities that they're able to have.
So last year I performed for Carroll City High School, like marching band, and I was playing trumpet. I was on the stage. I'm the section leader now, so for 8th grade. So it's a good experience for me.
Arts are an integral part of a student. Why? Because it's been observed that they help students get better at math, at reading, attend more school, and they make it belong better to their communities and to their fellow peers.
I have 2 kids. I think they are more connected to school because of the music. School sometimes is tedious and it's hard and it's, learning and pressure. It's okay, the pressure, because I also have music.
This is why M-DCPS is everyone's best choice. Because we don't stop at academics, we validate the talent needs of our students, the musical and art interests that they have, and this is how to do it.
What I like about jazz is that it's not limited to one emotion. It truly can be whatever you feel like during the day.
As a player of jazz, I try to, however I'm feeling or however I feel the music is trying to portray, that's what I try to put out.
What jazz means to me is it's something very musical. It's definitely a conversation that you can't really have with other genres.
The emotion of it, I feel, is that it has to feel really good. It has to have a really good groove.
I think I just love it because of its ability to express, human emotion.
I've learned how to be more expressive with myself because jazz is a form of expression in music. Like, I would say being in this band gave me a different outlook of how to perceive certain things.
With jazz band, I really love the energy that people bring. Everybody's very ready to play. With jazz band, everybody just knows what they have to do. We have a job to do and we just do it.
Underdog in terms of size, but not talent, which I think is actually an advantage for us. Like, I don't view us as a band with a disadvantage because of our size. I think it's allowed us to focus more on the individual player. Here we have to focus on every person because we're only as strong as our weakest member.
You have to work as hard as you can every day in order to be good at it because it's such a competitive field. So that's just the mindset I bring to it, that they have to practice every day. They have to be the best at their instrument. So that's a mentality that I've developed here.
I was never expecting to be a part of it, but now that I am a part of it, it just seems like my home, and I feel very grateful that I get to play with very great musicians.
You can never really master it because there's so much more you can learn from different people, take inspiration, and really shape your sound into something of a story that people would want to listen to.
Working with children? Do you want a career that makes a real difference every single day? At Lindsay Hopkins Technical College, our early childhood education program prepares you to build a future while shaping young minds.
My name is Sky. I'm a dual enrollment student here at Lindsay Hopkins. I've been in the program for about 4 months, and something that I've learned so far is that in this program, the early childhood development program, I can get the certificate for life. I just have to renew it once a year, every year.
You'll learn child growth and development, how to create safe and healthy learning environments, and how to guide behavior, nutrition, and early literacy skills. Students earn industry certifications including DCF Child Care Worker Certification, Preschool Certification, Early Literacy Certification, and Adult and Pediatric CPR. Graduates can work as child care workers, teacher aides, or preschool teachers. This program is just 600 hours, and financial aid is available for those who qualify. Start a career that impacts the next generation. Enroll today in the Early Childhood Education Program at Lindsay Hopkins Technical College.
You know, Alex, the arts really gives us a way to express ourselves.
And that's just the beginning. I recently went to the JCC where a bunch of M-DCPS students from all across the district were participating in the Holocaust Impact Theater. And here's the thing, they wrote and directed their own production. Wow. Let's check it out. Before they were silenced, before the world knew the full scale of Nazi horror, before history could be rewritten by the people who caused it, a secret group of Jewish writers, teachers, historians, and community members inside the Warsaw Ghetto began documenting everything. They called it Oneg Shabbat. Led by historian Emanuel Ringelblum, they gathered testimonies, essays, diaries, photographs, and scraps of daily life, burying thousands of documents in milk cans and metal boxes beneath the rubble, hoping someone, someday, would find them. Not so the world would remember how they died, but so the world would know how they lived.
They liked the idea of the fact that these people, 60 people, were meeting in private to create a time capsule because it was important to them that future generations understood what was going on during the Holocaust from the victims' point of view, not the perpetrators.
At the All-Per JCC, high school students from across Miami-Dade are performing Remnants through Holocaust Impact Theater, a production that doesn't just revisit the Warsaw Ghetto, it places it side by side with right now.
I knew I wanted to do a split stage because an important part of learning about history is also learning that history is not just something that happened in the past, it's something we're still learning from in the current time, and just showing the side-by-side comparison of the people in the Oneg Shabbat and a current student government and talking about the issues that we face in the present.
I think theater hits, so many hearts and feelings and emotions with people. I think, it's a common denominator. Who doesn't love theater in some format? So to be able to use this as my art to help the kids better understand, not just the students, but the audiences as well.
Theater is such an important part of history because it can tell a story in a way that an article can't. Because you really feel the emotion of the people on stage and you really
are there in that story, experiencing it with them.
For these students, this isn't just performance, it's responsibility, because the people they portray were real. And for many of them, that responsibility is deeply personal, even if the history is not.
Portraying a Jewish man in which I'm not Jewish, it allows me to see what they were living through like firsthand and not just reading about it or like hearing about it.
Unworthy of life.
What about the other articles? There are mentions of locations of the accounts of the killings.
It's so important to learn of the stories, keep the stories alive, especially since the survivors are aging out and we don't have as many alive anymore. To be able to do plays, to be able to learn, to be able to go to the concentration camps and keep the information and the history alive is so incredibly important, because if we don't, then it's really just going to be forgotten.
The stage itself becomes a visual argument. Past and present, then and now. What was buried and what still lingers in plain sight.
I felt like very responsible to tell the story like meaningfully and like truthfully, and I didn't want to like make anything look less like severe than it actually was. So it required like a lot of research to actually put it on stage and tell a truthful story. I hope that by talking about a real group of people that experienced the Holocaust in the Warsaw Ghetto, people learn to take the story of the Holocaust as individual stories and not just an overall event that occurred in history.
That is our number one objective, to save and retell the stories, so the voices of survivors, that their stories are told.
The people of the Oneg Shabbat buried their truth, hoping the future would find it. In this theater, under these lights, through the voices of students who refuse to let it disappear, it has.
We opened it as if archaeologists to our own extinction. The third cache remains unfound to this very day, believed to be hidden underneath the Chinese embassy in Poland.
Great students need great leaders. In this next segment, we meet an Alumni 305 who's the North Region Superintendent. She's here to inspire the next generation.
One of you could be the next Region Superintendent.
Dr. Aponte, good morning.
Good morning,
Welcome to Hialeah High.
Good morning, thank you, thank you.
Would you like some coffee?
Of course, our cafecito from Hialeah High always.
Absolutely, nothing but the best.
Thank you. First and foremost, I never thought I would be sitting in this row as a Region Superintendent. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I've always worked in the North Region, since I was a teacher till now. That really has given me the opportunity to really build strong relationships with individuals, even people that I now supervise. My day could begin with a drive downtown, to start an early meeting, or it could be visiting schools. I really try to make it a day where I spend a day visiting schools. I do a pop-up visit, and it's never about an I got you, it's more of how can I help you and let me see what's happening. I'm an alumni, so I always tell them that, it doesn't matter where you come from. Exactly. You're the one that chooses what path you're gonna do. And then knowing the community, I've been in this community all my life. I was born and raised in Hialeah. I live in Miami-Dade, so not only within our school, but outside in the community, I've built relationships with stakeholders that I think have been vital to my role and, my current role as a Region Superintendent. I was one of you a few years ago, we won't say how many years ago. Just recently, I was at Hialeah High with a group of student government students, and I talked to them about my story. I was like, I was one of you, and, I think they could see like, hey, if an individual that had the same humble beginnings as they do or as I did, my parents were not English speakers, they were immigrants, they could do it as well. I think it's that culture that, we have. The first thing I walked in here today, the first thing that me want a cafecito, it's that how you were raised, that's still here, that culture of our Hispanic origins are here very evident. Great things have come from here, There's many of my friends that have graduated that have done great things, and they're great people. And it's great to see them now along the road, when they've had their kids now in our schools and they're like, oh wow, you're the Region Sup. So it brings great joy to be here and to know that this school is still thriving. And we're still producing great kids. There's something for every student in Miami-Dade County Public Schools. We also offer such advanced programs that even if you're a student that excels, you can continue excelling and making it great. And I think the fact that so many of us are products of here makes a huge difference.
From Picasso to Brito, every famous artist had to start somewhere. And that's here at Hubert O. Sibley K-8 Academy. Here they're creating the next generation of young artists and painting a bright future.
At Hubert O. Sibley, the future isn't just being studied, it's being designed. It flew! Yay! It looks actually just like the one that's on the screens. Just a little bit about the STARTS Magnet program, which we are super excited to have here at Hubert O. Sibley. It stands for Science, Technology, and the Arts. So the beauty of the program is that all of my students get a chance to participate in art beginning in kindergarten. Good morning, Kenny, good morning. A chameleon? A chameleon, I love it, I love it. Our students in kindergarten actually leave with an art portfolio. Each year they get a chance to add additional artwork to that portfolio so they can see their progression. It begins with, 2D art, but they also do sculptures, they do painting. Then they get a chance to go into doing some graphic designs as they get a little bit older in our Mac lab.
I can be creative and express myself and through the things that I design. I've taken art from Minnesota and digital art from Miss Washington. And I both really like those classes, they're really fun.
My son, he enjoys drawing. He always told me, Mom, hey, I want to be an artist or I want to be an architect as I get older. So I was like, okay, well, this program will fit that. His drawing from when he was in kindergarten versus now he's in 3rd grade, it has enhanced by attending this school.
The profile of a student who strives in our program is a student who is a creative thinker, a student who thinks outside the box, a student who wants to discover, learn, create, innovate. That is the ideal student that we're looking for here at Hubert O. Sibley.
How a butterfly gets eaten and what it eats to help it survive. I'm in the STEAM lab and I'm doing science class. I really like it because we get to do some stuff about the food chain. I'm doing the food chain of a butterfly and we get to use the spirals and we get to code them to where it can go around the whole entire food chain. I feel like the STEM program is going to help me in the future by solving problems, learning about new things, and teaching further generations about technology and how it helps us.
Hubert O. Sibley is definitely your best choice. Here we have a wide range of activities for students. We are focusing on critical thinking, preparing students for jobs that have not been created yet. The future of the world is in our school today.
What an amazing job they're doing at giving our students the world. And remember, if you want your school, your partners, or your programs highlighted, make sure to tell us about it. Just email stories@dateschools.net with the details. And never miss an episode of EdVentures305. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on that notification bell. We'll see you next time on EdVentures 305.